All right, folks, today we're going to go over how to can in one of these this is an old zinc top jar, but it has the more modern but still very old glass top lid and rubber seal. And we're going to cover how to can in that. And if you want more information on vintage canning and regular canning and gardening, go to my website, frugalprepper.rocks, and you can find all kinds of information out there. I'm constantly updating that. I will put a link to it in the comments section down below and pin it in the description of this video. So I want to cover canning in one of these zinc top jars. Now, I'm not going to use the zinc top lid. You're going to have a hard time finding some that are in good shape, and they're no longer made, of course. But the problem is this porcelain goes against this rough edge of the jar, but it's not a watertight seal right there. Your seal actually happens from this rubber seal on the bottom. This is the same one you use in a glass lid jar, right? It doesn't indent on the top or ping down. So really the only way you know that it's sealed is to maybe turn it over and see if liquid leaks out of it. And it doesn't allow for the seal to pop open when you're storing it, right? So you could have a seal failure and then it could reseal, it could let something in there, and you could have something growing in the jar and not know it. So that's why I don't use these old zinc top lids. I use those occasionally for like storing some kind of dry good or something, but I don't use these. Now, the problem with using a regular modern style lid on these is the lip on these is actually kind of rough, right? And they don't like to seal. A lot of people think they're chipped, but they're actually made that way because they were made to seal down here, not up here. So what I do is use the glass top lid. This one's made by Presto, but there were several places that made these, right? There were places like this is an Atlas one, this is a ball one, right? And so they made these. These are our number 10 narrow mouth lid. And then you're gonna need one of these custom rings that are made to work with these lids. Some of them just are open like that. Some of them will have little things on them like that. They also made these in a wide mouth. Good luck finding the seals for this. You'll have a hard enough time finding the seals for this one. Okay, so finding these rubber seals is a bit hard. I can't find anybody that makes them currently. So they're all gonna be new old stock. You're gonna find them on places like eBay and stuff, and you're gonna wanna look for where they've opened the box and show you pictures of the seals. And they show you that they're still good and they're not dry rotted or cracked or anything. But you can still find good ones to use, and you can reuse those provided you get this lid off without damaging the seal, right? And that can be a little tricky on these. Basically, I take a butter knife and I don't insert it. I use the flat end of it to come up and just pry on the edge of it like so. Find a spot where I can pry it and just go nice and slow and break that seal, because you don't want to chip the glass and you don't want to destroy the seal if you can help it. And then this, of course, screws down on here. So, you know, you'll just put your rubber seal on there. You'll screw this down on there. You'll put this on until it's tight, and then you'll back it off a little. Just a little, so that it's still kind of snug, like right about there. So it doesn't let the water in, but it will let the air out. And then when they come out of the canner, you can just give them an extra snug down and then let them seal. And then you'll take this back off once it's sealed, and you'll test the seal by picking it up by the glass lid, right? And it shouldn't come apart, it should just pick up whole, right? And then you'll store it like that. So if there's a seal failure, you'll know it because this will be loose. So yeah, I mean, that's basically how you use these. Now you might be asking, like, where do you get these? Good luck. You'll have to find them on eBay, garage sales, stuff like that. I came across this one at a garage sale. This is the only one I have. I have 3 of the wide mouth ones now, but I cannot find any of the wide mouth jar seals yet. So, but I only have 1 of these. Now, you can use it over and over again, because you don't have to keep it on the jar, right? Because you're going to store the jar without it to make sure the seal stays, right? So I can use all 3 of my glass lids with this 1 ring on these older jars. But I think this is a safer way to reuse these old zinc lid jars, because these zinc lids are just, you know, I know great grandmother and grandpa and stuff ate out of these and didn't get sick, but there's just way too much of a chance for a seal failure and to get sick off of something. I think I just don't feel comfortable canning food with that for my family to eat. I want something where if that seal fails, I'm gonna know it failed, right? And you might be asking, like, can I use just a regular old traditional mason jar ring? You know, like the new ones? No, they don't have enough threads to grab. So they won't grab because this lid is too thick. So you have to have one of these deeper ones, like that. And then that will grab. So that's how you do it. I'm gonna go ahead and wash this all again real good, and then we'll fill it up with some pickles, and we'll give it a go. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do here is just wipe off the top of this jar really well. Just make sure there's nothing on there. Then we're gonna take and we're gonna put our rubber seal on. Make sure that's on good all the way around. Yeah, that looks good. So now we'll just put that down on here. We'll put this ring on. Tighten it up. And then I'll back it off. Maybe just a bit. Right there. Okay. Now I'm going to turn it upside down to make sure it doesn't leak. It doesn't. So it's watertight. Alright, and now I'll just fill up the canner with water and we'll give these some processing. Alright, so this is the last jar in the canner. We're going to go ahead and lift it out here. And now what I want to do is just grab a pot holder and just give it a snug down. Make sure that's good and snug. And now we are ready to let it cool, and then we'll check it and see if it seals. All right, so now we're gonna see if this sealed. If this seals, you gotta leave me a thumbs up. If it doesn't seal, you gotta leave me a thumbs down. All right. Let's see. Yep, she sealed. She sealed right up. So that works. So you gotta leave me a thumbs up now since that sealed, and leave me a comment down below and tell me if you have any of these old jars or lids or rings or anything else, or if there's anything else related to vintage canning you'd like me to see me do. I'll talk to y'all later. This is Tom, the Frugal Prepper.